I remember a time in the 2010s when roguelikes were the shit. Tons of great indie games that were roguelikes were coming out. You got Rogue Legacy, The Binding of Isaac, Enter the Gungeon, Don't Starve, Nuclear Thrones, and Darkest fucking Dungeon. This reads less like a list of roguelikes and more like a list of the greatest games of all time. Tons of great games were coming out and they were all making an assload of money. Which, you know, it made sense, because from the player's perspective, you're getting an infinitely replayable game, and from the developer's perspective, you're creating a game that could last years with substantially less effort than if you had to design stages manually. It was great. Everywhere you looked, you saw a new, awesome roguelike to spend hours on. But little did we know that that was going to be the genre's downfall. The market quickly became oversaturated, and everyone collectively decided that roguelikes were kinda gay. Obviously, roguelikes were still coming out, and there's still a lot of great games coming out even today, but you don't see the borderline obsessive craze over the genre like you did back then. Plus, PUBG and Fortnite dropped, and a 13-year-old made $1 million playing those games, so yeah, Battle Royales, those are the shit now. This long-winded history lesson that you didn't ask for brings me to Spelunky 2. Why did I go on a long tangent about roguelikes, you ask? I don't know. Spelunky 2 can ultimately be boiled down to being a game about solving problems, with the only permanent upgrade you have being your own knowledge, and you gain knowledge by asking questions. And despite the amount of questions you might ask, no amount of knowledge will prevent you from being killed by an arrow trap that you only saw on the screen for about 3 frames. This is the first level, by the way, the dwelling. The dwelling might be the greatest filter ever made in video game history. You know how every video game ever has a first level that gets easier the more you play it? The dwelling, it never gets easier to deal with. And that's not to say the rest of the game is easy. Neobab haunts my dreams like a specter of the night, but it's impressive how hard Spelunky fucks you right off the bat. No dinner, no date, no nothing. You could probably tell that this game makes me pretty angry.
Oh, fuck! What happened?
This game makes me so angry, I harm myself and others when I play it. I drive like an asshole after I'm done playing this game. I yell at customers at my work when I'm done playing this game, and I fucking love it. It's awesome. You might have a perfect run going, but because of forces you do not understand, something unexplainable happens, which kills you instantly. I swear, this game has a secret RNG counter which decides the most unfortunate way to end your runs. Because a lot of these clips might look goofy or like, haha, I died in an uncommon way. No, this shit happens all the time. And you know, that might sound about as fun as going to an actual mine to look for iron, or coal, or fucking sulfur, but this game's a gem, and we only mine for gems on this channel. And if you can't stand the pressure of Spelunky 2, then maybe you were never meant to be a diamond to begin with. There's 2 levels to that line. I hope that you sit on that one. These Rube Goldberg machine interactions is what makes Spelunky 2 so great. No matter what is happening, I always have an impending sense of dread, which I love. I drink 3 white monsters a day while cranking my... I drink 3 white monsters while jerking my white monster and microdosing Adderall because the closer I feel to death is when I work the best. Despite the constant abuse, it's not all bad. Spelunky 2 might be BDSM, but you know, even in BDSM you gotta come at the end. I think. Look at these arrow traps from before. How am I supposed to activate this? Well, you know, you could just pick up a rock and throw it. You can use an enemy, you can use a rope, you could basically do anything. You can use gold if you wanted to. That shit was intuitive as fuck, and it made me feel like I was on an actual adventure. This game does this shit all the time. Your intuition will carry you through the game if you know how the mechanics work. If you know on the Rube Goldberg machine the marble is gonna go down the track and then it's gonna hit the balloon, then maybe I can take the balloon and I'll use it to my advantage. That's why this game is so awesome. It really makes you feel like a clever boy. And once you start interacting with the levels, all of these questions come back in full force, like, what happens if I let this dude out of his cage? Well, now I got a guy to help me kill Dracula. What happens if I find the key to this drill? Well, now I can go down and I can kill Dracula. A lot of these, it's about killing Dracula, basically. What happens if I fight Olmec? Well, now I got this Ankh, that'll give me an extra life.
Maybe there's like a different classification.
Except that doesn't even matter, because you don't have to fight Olmec, because like I said, you're a clever boy. You can just skip the fight, get the Ankh, easy peasy. There are tons of little skips and techniques like this in the game that I could go on for hours about, but instead of talking about that, I think I should just let you play it and figure it out, because it's gonna be a lot better than just having me explain all this to you. I think the final note that I can have for Spelunky is, if anybody came up to me and they asked me, how would you describe this game? Well, have you ever stared up into the night sky and asked, what if?